Hello everyone, habari zenu, como está, good morning, oroanyu, and konnichiwa, because today, I never do analytics for my channel, but today I did for some reason. I was just curious, and apparently 8% of my audience is in Japan, which is very, very, very interesting. So for those people watching from Japan, thank you so much. Today's topic is something I have been wanting to do for a long time, and because again I keep reiterating this, my TikTok account is gone. This is the best way to communicate everything I was taken down. Now you people might have heard of this. It's black fatigue. I'm sure you guys have heard something about black fatigue by now. I don't know who hasn't at this point, but it is this notion of people, both vanilla and chocolate. Again, I don't say black and white because we're not colors, but everyone is tired. Everyone has black fatigue.
Black fatigue is a thing. Newsflash. White people don't want to live around ratchet black people, and black people don't want to live around ratchet black people. I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning and then you see the bonnet crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere, in every aisle, unattended. And that's anywhere you go, no matter what. They're highly emotional, highly sensitive. You can't say nothing. You can't even smile and hold the door for them because they'll look at you like you're crazy. And always the victim of something. Either you stepped on a shoe, you looked at them wrong, you told them good morning. They're never happy, they're never satisfied. And you wonder why normal, good black people move out of the hood as soon as they start getting successful. I was one of those black people that said, man, if I made some money, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna buy up this, buy up that. I'm gonna support the community. As soon as I got my money, I got the fuck up out of there because they don't know how to appreciate good shit. And my suburban kids don't need to be dealing with that bullshit. Crab in a barrel mentality. Never take accountability for nothing. So yeah, black fatigue is a thing. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are fucking tired. They're tired of dealing with these kind of people on a daily basis. I mean, I get anxiety when I walk inside of a mall nowadays. I mean, because you got these YNs running around and they don't respect nothing. So I don't care what anybody says. White America is tired of you, and we are too.
I'm going to stay away from the term black fatigue. I'm just not using it because it's trending, but I prefer to use ghetto fatigue. It just so happens that the people who exhibit this kind of behavior, I don't know why I'm laughing, it's not funny. It's not funny, haha, it's funny weird. Are people who are my skin tone, which is very embarrassing because they have this negative stereotype and they just keep exemplifying it. I want to give a bunch of examples about my experience with ghetto fatigue, and again, I'm saying this as both an African immigrant and someone who's lived in America over 11 years. I've seen it for myself. I've encountered it online, especially online. It's been really, really bad. But before that time, I was still encountering it here and there. So let's dive right into it. Number one, ghetto culture. Black fatigue, ghetto fatigue is exemplified by ghetto culture. I am tired of the ghetto culture. What is ghetto culture? Hey, the long nails. The ones you look at and you're just like, why?
One thing about it, two things for sure. Bitch, I'ma have my nails done.
How do you even wipe? You know, you might have a bidet and all that, but how do you function with such claws? They're not even nails, they're claws. Lashes that are they're just so much. It's almost like it's a culture of loudness, and not in a positive way. It's loud and proud and ghetto. You know, it's that ratchet style, if you want to call it that. It's the wearing the bonnet out in public, aka the sleeping gear. In Kenya, where I grew up, wearing a hairnet in public is frowned upon. So, but wearing a bonnet out in public, it's considered sleeping gear. Just like your pajamas, just like your lingerie. So the first time, let me tell you guys, the first time I went to a Walmart and I'm watching people in pajamas, and I'm not saying it's specifically only, again, dark-skinned people. This goes across the board, but they tend to be the main culprits. Okay, you guys know what I'm saying. Don't play dumb, you know what I'm saying. Watch these women just walk around in a bonnet. I'm like, why? I was baffled. And I have seen it being called out online, especially on TikTok. And the same people who do that get very offended because accountability is their kryptonite. I'm not going to jump ahead of myself, but that's one of the characteristics. Calling each other the N-word. Hold on. Calling each other the N-word, but simultaneously being offended when they are called the N-word, and yet they use it amongst themselves. That to me is one of the most hypocritical, nonsensical aspects of this culture. It's why I have ghetto fatigue. It's why people have ghetto fatigue. It's almost like you pick and choose what's offensive depending on when and who says it, instead of it just being outright bad. I have always said this, I've been saying this for years now. The N-word is either bad and no one is allowed to use it, or it's okay and everyone is allowed to use it. Stop the situational offensiveness of the word. That's why we have ghetto fatigue. Do I even need to address the twerking everywhere? Why do you twerk everywhere? First of all, twerking is not even a classy dance. And I'm not talking one instance. I mean, look at this graduation. It's a graduation. It's a classy, amazing, monumental event in your life, and you're going to ruin it by acting ghetto. The twerking is just me. The twerking is associated with ghettoness and ratchetness. And now look at this other story. I'll just leave this here, you guys. You tell me if that's not ghetto, the most ghettoest thing you've ever seen. The other aspect of ghetto fatigue, victim mentality. It is insane how these people have a problem for every solution. Yeah? It's the system. It's the white people. It's the system. It's the jail. Oh, they pumped drugs into our community. Did someone open your mouth and shove the drug down your throat? No, you made a decision. Oh, we don't have generational wealth. Yeah, because you spend all your money on Jordans. That's why. But there are people who win the lotto, right? The lottery and whatever. They win a huge amount of money. They blow it within 6 months. Why do you think that is? It's not because they lacked money. It's because their mentality, the mindset is not that of planning ahead. It's not a wealth mentality. It's a poverty mentality. And a lot of these people who exhibit the characteristics of ghettoness, they are very, very deep into that mentality. But the victimhood is insane to me. They will find a way to victimize themselves over anything. They will cause a situation, and when they are held accountable for it, they start screaming racism.
How can you win? How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything.
They start screaming, oh, they're looking down on me because of this and that. I have seen instances of someone recording themselves on their phone out in public, at a public pool or a public tub, hot tub, outside of a hotel or inside of a hotel. And they make sure there are people around them watching, especially if they're not dark-skinned, okay? So if they're vanilla people, and they will make themselves the center of attention. While they're acting this way that they act, and you dare look at them, you're the bad guy and you're being racist. Weaponizing their skin tone against others. That's another huge characteristic. Anytime they're held accountable, there's an excuse. Every single time they're held accountable, there's an excuse. It's racism. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, the racism. Part of the ghetto fatigue I have personally is the racism. Okay. The racism for me has been okay. In 2020, when I started my TikTok account, I was just sharing my experiences, right? And I have mixed children. At the time, my daughter was not born. I just had my son. We would go to the park so I could, let him kind of expand his extra energy. And multiple times, about twice or thrice, I ran into a dark-skinned woman from here wearing a bonnet, of course, because why not, right, at the park, and she would not let her kids play with my son, and she was giving us this dirty look, which honestly I was wondering what was going on. At the time, it did not seem like much. I just definitely noticed a shift of energy because I'm an empath, but I could feel like she was telling her kids, don't play with that boy, you know. And I shared this story on TikTok. Okay, I literally said, I remember this video, of course it went down with my first account since they've taken so many of them, and at the time I didn't think there was a need to save all my videos, so I did not save it. But I remember saying that I have experienced more prejudice from Black Americans in America than I have from white Americans. I posted that video. It went viral. 20% of the comments were from people who look like me, who are American. And you know what they were doing? They were justifying her behavior. Doubling down on the racism and saying, black people can't be racist. I even had a few comments from Pan-Africans, about 10% of the comments. These were Africans from Africa, which even shocked me more. Because why are you standing up for these people living here who are not African, they're American? They're being racist toward a fellow African and you're defending them. Someone had the audacity to tell me that they treat you that way because you married the enemy. I kid you not, that's what I was told. I was mortified. And I think that's when my journey began into seeing for myself just how racist these Black Americans who fight against racism really can be. Multiple times I have been told to go back home to Kenya because we differ on political and social ideologies. Nova. This you?
And I said what I said. So while you over here trying to be a pick me, pandering to the white folks, speaking out of turn, speaking up against a black person that you know absolutely nothing about, speaking against a whole community that you want to be like at the end of the day. Y'all come here and this black American that. So go home. Why y'all sitting here on the country that we built on our backs that has nothing to do with you at the end of the day? You have nothing to do with, you're African. You're not one of us. So when I say stay out of American business, I mean black American. You're not one of us. So again, stay out of black American business. You talking about what you would do if your child, okay, that's you. Around here, we teach our kids, stand up for yourself. If a white boy run up on me, trust me, honey, he's getting done up. We don't play that around here. So again, you tagging me, that's me. That's all me, sweetheart. What's your point, though? Again, stay out of American business. You're from Kenya, right? Stay in Kenya. Worry about what's going on in Kenya. Aren't there murders and rapists going on in Kenya? Because don't sit there and make it seem like African kids don't be in shit. Like, oh, black people don't take accountability. For what? Take accountability for what? Because every time somebody come up against us, we handle the shit, and then we get called a problem. Everybody's a victim when black people handle their shit. We handle our shit. We got our own communities. We don't need white people's approval.
The next characteristic that falls under ghetto fatigue, being a welfare queen. Career choice. They make sure they have as many kids as possible, stay right below the poverty line as possible so that their income is not too much, so they can be eligible for welfare, so they can get all the child tax credit. It's insane, you guys. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Now, this does happen on both sides of the aisle, which is again why I'm calling it ghetto fatigue, because ghetto is ghetto regardless of skin tone. Refusing of a nuclear family, being very much anti the nuclear family. Now, this goes deeper, and we'll go into that in another video. But the Democrat Party has really sank the black community, and I use quotation marks for that. They made sure to pump as much welfare as possible to ensure that if you're in a nuclear family, you're not eligible for welfare. So why, in their minds, why do you get married? The same people who exhibit those characteristics are the same ones who fall into this category of ghetto fatigue. Let's talk about the bigotry of low expectations. Oh my God, you guys. I'm sure by now you've seen the statue at Times Square. Statue. The ghetto statue. I'm gonna put it right here for you guys who've not seen it. When I saw that, I was like, why? Why did you guys? Why? What was the reason? Out of all the people, out of all the brilliant, dark-skinned American women who have made a mark in history, you guys, including NASA, We're talking NASA, we're talking STEM scientists. I would have happily even settled for Maya Angelou because she's an artist of her day. No, they chose the EBT Queen statue. And before that, they had put this guy up. George Floyd, the criminal who died of a fentanyl overdose. That guy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Low expectations. We're tired of that. That's ghetto fatigue right there. That's what's causing the ghetto fatigue. I almost forgot this. A very important part of the video I almost forgot is how vile these people are. It's not just the way they speak or the words they use, it's the way they think. Watch this video and it will make more sense.
For all the white women, the Beckleys and the Bentleys and Emilys who voted for Trump, this is what I gotta say to you. Whenever your little Emily comes home full of Tyreek's cum shot, she's a teen. Sadly, you told her not to mess with that dark meat, but she did. I'm going to enjoy the non-abortion that she's going to get. She's going to be forced to have that baby and disgrace the whole family. Go ahead, Tyrone. Put it in a deep dicker so you can get this swirl in. Now you got some niggas in the family now. You don't like us now. We at Thanksgiving dinner now. The whole in-laws, everybody coming over there. What's up? Your grandchild gonna be a nigga. Oh, Rebecca. You know, you be saying you're going to Pilates class, but we'll be going to the hood to see Rodney. You know what I'm saying? So we can pop you down and you go back home all tired and ran through to Stephen. That card's gonna break one day, baby. Or that raw dog gonna really pay off. And that plan B ain't gonna be available. And that abortion ain't gonna be available. And Peter gonna know that you got some BBC all up in that ran through run over cunt. Oh, but she ain't gonna be able to get no abortion, are you? You ain't gonna be like you've been doing before. Because we all know why y'all wanted to shut down abortions. Y'all was getting all the abortions. But that ain't gonna be over with now. You done kept Rodney a secret for a real long time. But not no more. Welcome that black baby. And we know y'all finna about to drop me. Welcome that black baby to the family. That baby is called right. Or when you're bleeding out on a table somewhere and doctors can't do nothing. Our thoughts and prayers will not be with you. Well, our thoughts will be, and our thoughts will be. How's it feel, bitch? See, cause you ain't care about us, right? You know, I hope that vote came with immunity to all reproductive issues.
That's what they think. That's how their brains work. When they look at you in a relationship, you must be getting tokenized, fetishized, or it's all about the...
Your love for white Taliwaka has made you mad. It's made you mad in your brain. You have no common sense.
That's what they reduce your relationship to. That's how they are. So before you go thinking that they are victims, they are the villains. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. There's going to be a part 2, but like I said, this is a topic I have been wanting to talk about. Stay tuned for the next one. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and thank you if you stuck to the end of this video. To see more of my videos, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Kenyan Hippie out.